Hello, everybody. It is time to draw a fish together. Now, I've been looking at fish online just to get some ideas, and I've combined them all into one super special magical fish that you and I are going to draw together. So get ready to follow some steps and draw an amazing fish, and get ready to color it. You ready to do this? Let's go. And that is how you draw a fish quickly and easily. Now let's color it. Okay, so out of my 100 colors, I have chosen these colors to start with. I think that's a decent enough set of colors. I'm trying to keep it diverse and many shades. My fish is going to be ultimately blue. I think I'm going to do the fins in like a sort of yellowish goldish color. I think I'm also going to need a little bit of purple for the shading and maybe some more orange for more shading on the yellow parts. Also, I just really want to diversify the colors. So I'm going to put the orange on this side, put the purple on this side. Just a diverse range of colors. The more colors you add to your work, the better it will look in the end. So really use a wide range of colors. Now you also want to use your colors wisely too. You don't want to just randomly sprinkle colors everywhere. And of course, if I need more colors while I'm doing it, I'll go ahead and just grab some from the box. In the meantime, why don't I put my colors up here where you guys can see them? I'll put them as much in order as I can in a sort of radial spectrum, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Just making stuff up now. But I am trying to put them in some kind of order, like a spectrum of color order. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Okay. Anyways, let's see how this plays out, shall we? Okay, how do these colors look? Let's leave these here like that. Let's also, let me see if I can pull my drawing down a little bit. Let's move it over a little. Ah, that looks like a pretty good thumbnail. And there we go. Okay, so the brightness, the light is going to be hitting the fish from up here. That means all my brighter blues and colors are going to be up here. My darker ones will be along the bottom, and my scales will have their own brightness on the top and darkness is on the bottom. Same goes for the tail. Brightness is sort of on the upper left, all the fins upper left, and then darker as we go further down to the bottom. And the way to do that, now you really just kind of have to go with it. You got to be brave, really. So watch, like I'm gonna just make some lines where I think my colors should be dark, and then I'll color them in shortly after. Okay. How does that look? I guess we'll see. I may also kind of want to double up on the darkness per the fins. Per the fin, like each individual fin. But again, you don't want to go against the light, so we'll see how this looks. I'm not really, I can't claim to be perfect at this, but I can definitely just try, and we'll see how it looks together. This one might be bigger because it's underneath. Okay, so we'll just start filling these in. Remember, this is my darkest orange pretty much, and that's what I'm using for the farthest from the light as I can find. And you really just want to have fun with this. I mean, color wherever you want. I mean, you can put any color anywhere, but I'm trying to teach you like mechanical strategies, like stuff that may make someone see your work and say, oh, well, that person is really an artist in the traditional sense. No, they really know what they're doing. But of course, any person is really an artist, and any art you make is good, quote unquote. I mean, there's no real, art is subjective, you know, like just because something doesn't fit someone else's mold doesn't make it not good art. It's just your art, it's different. But conventional art, or art skills, or realism, or photorealism, or things that are attractive to the eye universally, is a different type of study, and it's something you can learn to become good at. So if that's what you're aiming for here, that's sort of more what we're talking about here. For instance, my friend, who's an artist and a colleague, will tell me often, you know, like, it depends what your aim is, because he's a really good artist, but he doesn't aim to make art for the people who look at things and say, oh wow, that's amazing art. He makes things that he likes to make, which take skill. They're not easy to make, but again, he does it specifically in mind. So he does it with his skill set and his aesthetic sense in mind, not for other people so much. And I guess that's more of the take of more serious artists. I would not call myself a serious artist, I'd call myself a hobby artist, or someone who just loves art. So now that, I think I'm just trying to wrap up where else I might want any use of these colors. Okay. So now that I've got the darkest orange in, now it's just a pattern. Now I'm just going to kind of go wherever I put that dark orange, I'm just going to accentuate it with this golden color here. And I'm just going to keep doing that with all the lighter and lighter yellows until I'm done filling in the entire drawing. And that should give me a look. I don't know exactly how it's going to look yet, but it should give me a look. Let's see if it looks interesting, or if it looks dull or strange. We shall soon find out together, shan't we? Now this is the first real full-out drawing and coloring piece that I've done so far for the channel. So if you like it, please let me know that you liked it. by all means, leave a comment or even just hit the like button. That says something too. That tells me that you liked it. So maybe you don't have time to write an actual message, but I'm sure you have time to hit a like button quickly. And I'll see that because I look at them now. I just check to see what the latest is. I'm going to move these up a little, even though I love seeing them here. I'm going to try and move these up just a bit so I can hear. There. You guys like seeing the colors up top like that? Yes, we do. Alright, let's keep going, shall we?
Yes.
Alright, let's keep it fresco. Okay, I think that tears it. Now remember what I said in another video. Use a Sharpie for your black lines, because something about the permanent ink makes it so that your colored markers will not smudge when you use color markers after that. But if you use a black, that looks very similar, doesn't it? But if you use a black water washable marker, then what happens is once you hit it with color, it's like those colors are just like, and the tips get all black and the black smudges everywhere, and it's a nightmarish mess, and I wish I'd never done it. So we'll see what happens here on the next one. Okay, this orange is surprise Crayola. Did you give me two markers that look just like each other? Because this looks exactly like the one I just used. Let's see this. These two have different colored caps. You can kind of see it if you look really carefully. So we'll see if it looks different in the end. And I've still got two more yellows that I want to use here. So I'm going to go with this yellow first and then the last one to fill in the rest. So I got to just leave a little white here and there so I don't run out of space for my last yellow. Looks like I used most of it on the dark yellows. Now you can see I'm just going faster. Like, I find that it's okay. I'm not being as careful and precise, because pretty soon I'm just going to fill it all in with their last remaining yellow. What do you think so far? Maybe you want to jam that like button already? I don't know. Maybe you want to wait till the end, till you see if you actually really do like what you're seeing or not. If you do like it already though, if you're pretty sure you're going to like what's happening here, you can go ahead and hit the like button now so you don't forget. Sometimes you just forget at the end, or you watch the next video and you're like, oh man, what video was that earlier that I watched? I should have left a like for it because I really did like it. Don't let that happen to you. Be the one who takes care of his responsibilities first right away. Responsibilities, look at that. I've already made it part of your duties. You like that? Anyway, so we're almost done with the fins here. And pretty soon I'm going to go ahead and start coloring this fish in. What do you think of the fins so far, everyone? Leave a comment. Let me know. Alright, just going to fill this in now quickly. Now notice I'm trying not to overlap my colors in any area more than once, because if you do that, you're doing two things. You're wasting your marker ink, which is fine, I guess, if you can just keep buying more, but you're also you're changing the color. When you add too many layers in one spot, you soften the paper, it gets too moist, and you start to saturate the color in that spot, and it gets a little darker and you can see the layers. So you really want to try to be careful not to do that. You want to try and sort of avoid that if you can, I guess. Okay. Okay, so here's what I want to do with the light now. I want this to be my brightest color, and then this to be my next brightest color, and then this to be my next brightest color, and then that one to be the next brightest color. And then I want the rest of the fish scales to have a combination of green, blue, and purple. So let's do all the bright spots with these 4 colors. Starting with, I wonder if that's the right order. Maybe I should do it like this. So brightest. See, now that looks brightest to me. Let's do this one as the brightest. Then this one, then this one, and that one. How's that? So I'm going to have some bright spots here, like shiny spots. So let's try it, shall we? Alright, scales, brightness. Brightness. Brightness, brightness. Brightness, brightness, brightness. Now this is where it gets a little tricky on the top here. Okay, we're gonna get a bright spot right there. I'm gonna get a brightness right there. Maybe a little brightness right there. A little brightness right here. Maybe along the top of brightness. Now notice how I'm leaving a little space between the edge and the brightness, because sometimes the shine doesn't just start at the edge. The shine can actually start slightly after the edge, and then you'll have dark spots up there too. And sometimes the shine is broken up like that. It's got pieces. Okay, so that's going to be a bright zone. Let's see now if I can't surround the brightness with some light grayish tones. Now this is what I'm going to use for the edge. It gets a little tricky, but hang in there. Even if it doesn't look right while you're doing it, just stick it out. Give it a shot and see how it looks in the end, because sometimes the work doesn't look as you expect or as you want it to until some point around when it's done. Maybe brightness here as well. Some brightness here, brightness there. Let's get some brightness over here. Okay, a little brightness here. Bright, 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 bright. Maybe brightness here. Did I forget to put a little brightness here? Okay. Sometimes you'll forget to. I gotta go over a couple spots there again. I'm gonna go ahead and put some brightness right there. Some brightness right here. We have to put some brightness there too. Go back to that. More brightness, 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 brightness. Okay, and from here, now notice I only drew a few scales because I didn't want my picture to look too busy. If I drew scales all over the entire fish, then that might just like look, if you just draw a few scales, you get the idea. You don't have to draw them. It's like sort of when you're making a brick wall. If you just draw a few bricks, you don't have to draw all the bricks in the wall. That would be really tedious. It would take a long time. And in the end, it might even take something away from the art. I feel like it might draw your eyes too much. I feel like sometimes less lines is really the way you want to go. If you're doing a certain type of art, like in this case, we're kind of doing like a fun, colorful, almost like childish sort of look. We're going for like a fun look. So in that case, you know, it's like you can reduce the lines anywhere possible. Now don't worry if it looks like he had bags under his eyes. Looks like he's tired now all of a sudden. Usually you want any fun drawing to look not tired and to look colorful and happy. A good smiley face can turn just about any picture from like a drab or sort of a scary or uninteresting picture into like a sort of a fun, happy-go-lucky, good time of a picture. Okay, I just realized something. My drawing's gonna get pretty dark with the rest of these colors, and I'm not sure if that's what I want. I might have to reach in and get some more colors that are maybe not as dark as the colors I chose. Although I am going to do the darker edges now on the bottom. And don't worry if your coloring goes outside the line. It does take practice. It does take a long time to have a steady hand. Okay, so I took a quick time out for some lighting and also for adding some colors. So I added these few lighter purple colors, if that makes sense. And I'm going to use them on the bottom here to outline my purple lining there. So let's just, there you go. I guess this doesn't look too different from the purple that I already used. Alright, so in taking a break, I was able to regroup and try to add some new colors to the spectrum. I now have this purple here, which is a little lighter. I'm going to keep going lighter gradually as I go up. And I'm getting in that one key stroke with as little overlap as possible. Seems like a daunting task, and really it kind of is. Especially for me, I like to rotate the paper so that I can get a good stroke across in the direction where my hand feels comfortable. But because I'm filming, it kind of hinders that whole thing a little bit. So I hope it doesn't really take too much toll on my work. But for the most part, we'll make do with it. I could add one more layer because I feel like this light color should stand out just a tad bit more. You see these little slivers there. Okay, and now from here, I'm going to go for an even lighter purple. Ooh, and that's a different tone of purple altogether, not necessarily lighter. Not what I would have picked consciously, but you know what? Part of art is experimentation and being flexible and going with it, even when you don't feel like you agree with it all the way sometimes. And if that's the case, so be it. You just have to be willing to accept the outcome. Sometimes it's not in your control, and if you get too stressed out over it, I feel like that hinders your learning. So let's just keep going with it. I feel like something's going on here that I'm not fully a fan of. But again, I'm okay with it. I'm going to keep learning and trying. Now I'm going to grab this gray, these three gray colors here. I'm going to sort of use these to finish out the filler of my drawing. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I kind of want it to be bright the rest of the work. So what I'll do is I'll just try and use the gray to finish out what else I have here. So here's the darkest gray. And then the slightly lighter gray. And the next gray, the lightest gray, is the one I'm going to use to essentially color this fish in. So let's hope it looks good. After that, our work will be complete. Unless I want to add a background or something, which I'm not sure yet if I do. What do you think? Should I add a background? Now what I will do is I will consult some artwork out there and I'll see what their coloring strategies look like. And now that I've tried it some hands-on, I'll have a better idea of how to do it myself when I'm coloring. And I'm sure I'll do it better on the next one. Now, it's just not the coloring technique that is not meshing well with my opinion. It's just the the coloring selection. So where I decided to put which colors speaks to my drawing, speaks to me. And because I'm looking for a sort of nice sort of clip arty feeling, like almost like a cute computerized, colored, properly shaded, interesting, completed work, I think that's the measure of my success in my mind. So that's what I'm using as my reference. And that's why maybe I'm not as sold on this as maybe some viewers might be, or maybe as I could be if I looked at it differently. But I'm sticking with it. I'm taking it all the way through. I'm gonna wrap this up, and then we'll take a step back and critique it and look at it and see what we could have done on the next one that would make it better. Notice I'm using the broad side of these. I like the line strokes, the shape of these coloring strokes from the gray. I don't like the purple here in the mouth. It almost makes him look, I don't know, like something's going on there. But in any case, and that's it. And that's how you draw and color a fish. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Wow, that was a lot of fun for me. Here is my finished fish product that you and I just made together. How did yours look? Did you have a good time doing it? Do you like your work? Are you going to try it again and again and keep practicing until you get it just right the way you want it? Good, because that is exactly how you get better. Keep on working at it. Keep looking at other people's work. Keep thinking of ideas. And most of all, keep practicing. Good luck. And share your work if you can. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.